10 years ago, I dreamt that fishing would have its own panel show. Let's face it, fishermen can talk the leg off a chair. How big is the fish? It was this big. They brag to their mates about how good they are or about the big one that got away. Well, tonight, that dream comes true. 10 years of dreaming, months of preparation. I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Australia's first live fishing television program. Enjoy Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. Yes, episode number 100 for us here at Talking Fishing, a milestone we are very proud of, and hopefully you people at home have enjoyed a few of the episodes along the way. While the weather has not been kind to us, wow, is there a lot to talk about in fishing tonight. We preview this weekend's Melbourne 4x4 Outdoor Show Fishing and Boating Expo. We take a look at a new range of clothing to hit the Australian market. And to all our female viewers, the Victorian Fisheries Authority, they want to hear from you. We'll tell you what to do later on in the show. All that and plenty more. So let's get into it with a big welcome to the man who travels by kayak. Adam Ring, welcome, Ads.
Thanks, Dave, and happy 100th birthday.
Yeah, same to you, mate. Let's
I'll
give a big shake of the hand. Just, who would have thought?
It's been an interesting ride.
It's been an interesting 100 episodes, hasn't it?
It has. And
Anyway.
it's funny because we've got some horrible weather on the way. I'd hate to say it, but we've had some warm days, and even with the forecast coming, it feels as though things are starting to change.
Yeah.
We've seen...
For the worst. It's going to be 12 degrees on Friday. But anyway.
But you'll see in a minute. Catch of the week looks pretty good.
And how's this? Second show back for the season, and Trelly has already gone missing. His replacement, all the way from Trelly's in Geelong, it's a warm welcome to Adam Vanderlut. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure, and thanks for having me on for the big 100.
Yeah, no, it's a privilege, mate. And I tell you what, Trelly's just missing out. We actually asked you tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Trelly? And even you don't know where he is.
MIA. He does that, and we'll touch him when he gets back. But I hope he's having a good time wherever he is.
I guarantee that.
Let's just reflect very, very quickly. 100 episodes tonight. We've had the Paul Hamers, the Corey Greens. Travis Dowling's probably been on 3 or 4 times. Jarla a couple of times. We've covered a lot, haven't we, in 100 episodes?
It's gone very quick. It still feels as though we're just sort of getting the ball rolling, to be honest.
I know.
So, there you go.
And I think we've been through 3 times that Channel 31 was going to lose its licence. So
That's
who
probably
knows?
why it's felt like it's gone forever.
We're still here, and you guys are still stuck with us, and we're going to keep doing it every week until we can. But tonight, a big episode. We're going to cover the 4x4 and fishing show, which is on this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And please come along, because Trelly, Adam, we're going to be there, and talks on stage. Trelly's giving a talk he's there Saturday, Sunday, talking about Big Murray cod.
Awesome.
It's going to be a massive show, so come along, please, to the showgrounds this weekend, because it's going to be a big weekend. Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week now.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano, providing reliable, trustworthy, quality fishing gear for your enjoyment.
And just a reminder that if you're ever out of town and you want to watch us, we stream live on Facebook. So get onto our Facebook page, like the page, and you can see us every week. We set it up as an event. I have no idea how they do that, but they do it. Oh, they just do it. I don't know.
Don't ask me.
All right, let's get into Catch of the Week, and the first one, we'll have a look at this. Frank, I'm going to mess up his surname, Kakisi, I think. A snapper. Now, that is a cracker from the Warmies at Newport.
That's a genuine snapper. That's not a pinky.
No.
A genuine snapper.
No. And you can see the old surf rod just to the left of him there. He's got the old 12-footer in the pole in the ground at the Warmies at Newport. Melbourne in the background. How good is that?
That's an insanely good
That's a nice
looking fish, land-based, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like
obviously,
yeah.
little bit of warmer water around the Warmies than the 12 degrees out in the bay right now. So. But I tell you what, the 12 degrees, it's just starting to turn now. We've gone past the point of the coldest of the year, and there is some fish around. And with this big blow, Ads, people are getting down to Mornington Pier.
Correct.
And have a look at this. Teresa Lambert, got down to Mornington Pier on the weekend, a 2.1 kilo snapper. Just goes to show, put in the effort, get down there when it's blowing a bit, and those snapper on the bite, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. And Mornington Pier is sort of renowned for the nastier the weather, the better the fishing. So we'll see a few more of these snapper pop up. We generally find leading into the seasons the best time to fish. So that's a good catch.
Moving around the bay closer to your area, Adam, I know, but up in Docklands, right in the heart of the city. How did Taylor know to go up there?
Yeah.
But Taj Palmer, have a look at this. They got, him and his dad got a cracker number of Taylor. I mean, that is, now maybe they've been around the warmies and the bit of warm waters come into the Yarra and around that Docklands area, but there's some classic fish in the Docklands area at the moment.
There's a great little story to this. I know Taj and his old man, Brad, and I understand that Taj taught his old man a thing or two that day, so good on you, Taj, you little legend.
Yeah, there you go. Ads.
Speaking of a couple of kids showing their old man a thing or two.
Piper and Addy Ring, have a look at this. Got down to Balcombe Creek with the old man who, you know, Ads, I mean, we don't give you many days off at Tacklewood Mornington, but you finally took a day off.
You gave me one on a good weather day too.
And you got a cracked a day off, and there you go, down to Balcombe Creek for some nice little bream. What'd you get that on?
Scrubbies.
Sorry, what did the girls get that on?
The girls got them on scrubbies. I sat back and watched, and in between ripping every scrubby out of the punnet, we managed to get one in the water, and old mate Brim come along.
So they just playing on the banks and on the... They have little platforms along the Balcombe Creek, don't they?
Yeah, well, Balcombe was as high as I've seen it for a long, long time, so you couldn't actually use the boardwalk. So we're on the beach, which the kids didn't
What do you
mind.
mean you can't use the boardwalk?
No, well, it was underwater.
You serious?
Yeah,
Must be about due to burst then.
Until 3 or 4 locals dug it out while we were there.
There you
So it's now open.
Let's have a look at this one. I'm going to go and do this in a couple of weeks. Lake Bullen-Merai, Oscar Adorno. Got a 2.5 kilo Chinook salmon. Adam, that's out the back of your place.
Yeah, about an hour and a half from where we are in Geelong. So at the moment during winter, incredible fishing. So,
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. What is the best time of the year? I mean, Chinook salmon, and I'm not an expert by far, but they only live a certain life cycle, don't they?
Yep. I think
and they die?
They do live a little bit shorter than your rainbows and your browns, but they get really big. So Bullen-Merai and Byron Bait's renowned for those really big fish.
And is that because of the food source in there?
I think it's the food source, and probably the lakes are a lot deeper than anywhere else you find. So you've got that cool water all year round.
Yeah.
Fish go deep. But now, during winter, is when you find them spread right out around the lake, and you'll get them, you know.
So a lot of people, if you went back to tradition of Bullen-Merai and Purrumbete, they would down rig for Chinook salmon. And you'd be down low, or people burley with pilchards.
That's the other way.
And what, they come up like the trail or something?
Well, yeah, they come up through your burley trail, and you pick them up on blue bait. Blue bait or pilchards for bait. So
it's different fishing.
It is, yeah. You can use.
All right. So a question to you: this time of year, because the cold water will be on the surface as well as underneath.
That's right.
It'll all be. I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 degrees or whatever this time of year. I would have thought.
Yep.
Are they down deeper this time of year? Are they up near the surface this time of year? Like, what do you do?
First light is when you'll find them right around the edges, and as the sun comes up, the edges of the lake start to warm up. The fish will go deeper, and they'll head towards the middle of the lake and go down. So, first thing in the morning, if you're going to fish there, flat line your lures, Tassie Devils, shallow diving lures until the sun's up. Give it about an hour or so of daylight, and then go deep. So, that's what we've found is the best way to get those fish.
They call this a crater lake. So, how deep is it?
I think
deepest point.
It's like 80 feet or 60 feet.
Is it?
Yeah, it's deep.
Okay, so it's a crater, but it's obviously it's not 400 metres deep or anything.
Nothing ridiculous, but it is very deep. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was having a look at the fishing report, as I was telling you boys earlier before the show, that our fishing report next week, last year, the first 10 photos were of barrel tuna.
Yep.
And have a look at these Sharkmen fishing charters got out off Portland on the weekend, and the crew aboard them landed a 72.5. And you call that a barrel because there hasn't been a barrel caught.
Yeah, that's right. It's as big as we've seen for a bit.
But how good is that to land a fish? And it just says to me, if we can get a little bit of weather, there's probably some very big fish out there. There's probably lots of them, because if next week's fishing report last year was full of barrels, they've got to be there right now, don't they?
Surely, yeah. The reason we haven't seen so many reports this week has been the weather. No one can get out. So, you know, the fish are certainly going to be there.
Yeah.
You just need a good day to get out on the water.
Lucky last, and we've got to fly through this one, David Jacobson. He headed out with the Keysborough Angling Club. Helen Semester was very good, the secretary of the Keysborough Angling Club, to send us in these photos, but Dave Jacobson, a 95 centimetre mulloway on the Werribee River. The club did a river fish all weekend, and there you go. Put in the time, and that was on a dead yabby, by the way. So
we're doing it all wrong.
If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au.
And next on Talking Fishing, fisheries news. Plenty of trout stocked this past week. We'll tell you where right after this.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Alrighty, fisheries news, plenty of it. But before I do that, I should introduce a special guest, Paul Mathers. I don't know if we've got the graphics ready, Paul, but there you go. Paul, you are the event director of the Melbourne 4x4 Outdoors Show Fishing and Boating Expo.
You are the first person to get that right, Dave.
I know, and I didn't even have to read it off the screen.
You can now have my job. Yeah,
there you go.
That's
We
the
actually
full
fitted
name.
it on the screen. Have a look. So,
I like that.
we got it right. So
I like that. Excellent.
we're going to talk about the 4x4. Oh, I'm not going to say it again. We're going to talk about the show very, very shortly, but a bit of news. Let's get into it first. First one up, Sonia Kilkenny is the local MP for the Kramer area, and I think this is a really good project, boys. So you know that Target 1 Million, they had a thing about the $2,000 for clubs. Well, now Sonia got out and presented the other day to the Mornington Peninsula Fly Fishers Club a new defibrillator. I think I got that right. And first aid training as part of the new Defibrillators for Fishing Clubs program. Defibrillators are an important piece of emergency equipment that can significantly improve survival rates from a sudden cardiac arrest and are a vital resource in developing safe and resilient communities. So what they're going to do is they're saying to every fishing club, if you want one, come and grab it. It's a bit like the $2,000 grants program. Come and get your defibrillator. As part of the Stronger Fishing Clubs grants program, the defibrillator grants provide eligible angling clubs with an opportunity to acquire an automated external defibrillator to help ensure their club members are equipped with top safety gear in an emergency. It's not saying that club members are old blokes.
I was about to say, where's this guy?
Is it? No, I'm not sure that they're all old blokes, but the program is a key part of the Andrews Labor government's Target 1 Million election commitment, aiming to get more people fishing more often and stopping them from dying at fishing club events. So I'll just put that down. I'm going to race through these. The next one, you may recall Catch of the Week about in October last year. I think we've got a photo here. In fact, the circus was set up behind Tackle World Kramer. This is Ebony Phipps and her dad, Wayne Phipps. Now, Ebony sent in the otoliths of that mulloway that was caught in Western Port. And it was the oldest, the people that do all the measurements, they do all the aging of the mulloway. It's the oldest fish. It was aged, it was 152 centimetres and it was aged at 22 years old.
I thought you were going to say 152 years old.
No. 22 years old, how's that?
There you go.
So pretty interesting stuff. Let's talk about trout because there was a lot of trout released during the last week and you guessed it, more trout have been stocked. We've stocked fishery, this is the Victorian Fisheries Authority. They've stocked 7 waters this week with brown and rainbow trout from Snobs Creek Hatchery, including 120 brood stock. Have a look at the photo of that. That's a broody going into Eildon Pondage. 120 of them. The fish weighed between 1 to 2 kilos and they're all catchable this weekend. If you're not going to the 4x4 show, which you should be, but if you're not, go up to Eildon Pondage and get one of those. Other stockings, Lake Windaree in Ballarat, 12,000 rainbows. Colac Lake, 5,000 rainbows. Bolac Lake, 8,000 rainbows. Blue Rock Lake, what a champion lake that is, 10,000 rainbows. Barker's Creek Reserve, 7,000 browns. And Moorabool Reservoir, Paul, do you know where that is?
No.
I was just checking your fishing knowledge. 8,400 browns, all part of Target 1 Million. That is fantastic. Now, to all our female viewers, and this is deadly important. The Victorian Fisheries Authority is keen to find out more about why women fish and how to get more females into the pastime. Are you too busy, new to the pastime? You got no one to learn from, all that sort of stuff? Are you passionate about other hobbies? The VFA want to understand more, and they're encouraging females to complete an online survey. Now, we have put the link to the survey up on our Facebook page. We did it yesterday, so just search through the Talking Fishing Facebook page. Fisheries, so I keep calling them Fisheries Victoria.
Yeah.
Victorian Fisheries Authority want to know from females all about your fishing habits. And if you can get on there and talk about that, that'd be great. And just a bit of sad news, guys. Wayne Odgers, a very, very good friend of Mates Day on the Bay, which is held by Future Fish Foundation every year. Wendy and Wayne have been attending Mates Day, I reckon, since day one, probably 17 years, and Wayne had some heart complications during the week and passed away. Great friend of Kramer and Mornington.
So yeah, been in the shop quite a few times.
Wendy's very, very devastated, and our hearts go out to Wendy on the loss of Wayne. But the world lost a great fisherman, I can tell you, during the week.
Very keen.
Oh, both of them wheelchair bound and very, very sad ads. So anyway, let's move on. Paul. The Melbourne 4x4 outdoors fishing and boating expo.
I'm going to let you go for it yourself because
I got it right twice.
Well, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll live forever.
Feed him for a lifetime.
You're on your own there.
All right, what do you got planned? I know we've got a fishing stage.
You do,
and there's going to be a very special guest. I think he might be in town at the moment, but he's going to be making his first Victorian appearance.
Okay.
And we've got Paul Worsing, we've got Trelly, we've got Steve Starling. We've got some classics on the stage. But you've got 2 other stages?
Yeah, we've got 3 stages this year, which is great. We've got a campfire cooking stage, which is hosted by Spider Everett.
What the hell? hell was that?
Sorry, I just got to get back some focus now. So that's hosted by Spider Everett. Of course, he's a great AFL legend and a top bloke. And then we've got the Waco CFX Outback stage, and that's where people will get to see all their... Whoa.
What the hell?
This is what you call stealing focus in the business.
You didn't have any idea that this bloke is actually going to make his first Victorian appearance.
Oh, he's the one.
Well, second now.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
You can't cross your legs, mate. You can't talk, I know, because you're rat. I can't say this, but you lost your vocal cords when you were young. But you are making your first Victorian live appearance, aren't you, at the show?
That's great. Well, we'll have a tackle rat too.
We'll have a tackle rat.
But back to the Waco CFX Outback stage. That's where you can meet all your favourite personalities from the 4-wheel drive area. So, Jace Andrews, Ruthie, we've got Rick O'Brien from the Off-Road Adventures show, and a whole range of fellas on that stage. Which is really great. So you can come along, you can learn stuff from the experts, you can hear some great stories, you can test drive a new car on our...
So I was going to say, if you're thinking about buying a 4-wheel drive, you have a test track.
We do.
For 4-wheel drive. So if you can actually come in and go for a ride in a 4-wheel drive of your choice that you want to try.
Yeah, there'll be a couple of different models
not
there.
every model.
Not every model. I mean, picture this. You want to buy a new 4-wheel drive and you go to the car dealer, well, you can't really take it through its paces at all. No. You can drive it around the roads, say. Here we've got a proper off-road track. It's been designed by off-road people. It's got various different sort of obstacles to go over, and you can actually take a car through its paces. And the people that are doing a lot of that test driving on that track are Volkswagen with their new Amarok V6.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're interested in that truck in particular, you can get a good workout there. But also the guys from 4-wheel drive Victoria are going to be doing some training. And so if you ever wondered how to tow a trailer or how to recover a vehicle in a tough situation, any of those sort of skills that you need when you get out on the tracks, you've got an opportunity to learn them there. And you can be a complete beginner, a novice, or an old hand. There's something for you to learn. You've talked about the fishing stage. There's that. We've got this new area called Base Camp, which is essentially a big area
I've read about that.
Yeah, it's a big area that's set up like a camping ground, essentially. And we've got about 30 or 40 tents in there and camper trailers and so on. So you can sit around a campfire, you can listen to someone sing a few Aussie tunes, you can have a nap in a tent if you like, and really just kind of engage with this area.
I hope that the 15 staff that we're taking to the show didn't just hear that
tents,
and
yeah,
go nap in the tent.
I did.
So,
There's no fish there. There's the thing, though. So
no, there you go.
Napping area.
Paul, one of the things is some of the innovative things in camping too, because all fishermen love to go camping, but there's always some innovating things about camping.
Yeah.
That, you know, whether it's a new fire pit or a new design of a camp stove or something, you just have all the new gear, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, as far as camping goes, you know, there's not much that you can't get at the show. And you're right, you know, there's new stuff coming in all the time. One story I love to tell, you know, we've got this exhibitor that's been with us for about 3 years, I think. He's got a product called Smart Tech, and what it is a butane-fired hot water system for your showers. And he launched his product at our show. He sells thousands and thousands of units now. He's brought out a whole range of products now that are a development of that initial sort of prototype that he went to market with. That sort of stuff you don't kind of hear about unless you're really reading the trades deeply, or unless you're coming to a show to see it. And the other thing that we've introduced this year, which you can download from our website, you can get from Facebook, is our Bargain Hunters Guide. And we've put together about 150 of the best bargains that are show-only, genuine discounted deals that you won't see anywhere else other than at the show. So punters have got a great reason to come along, because they're going to do much better than retail.
Now, on Friday, 1 year ago, Paul, at 9 a.m, the queues were 700 people long and 6 people wide. If you want to avoid the queues, they were
great.
You were busy in your office sorting out the
Probably.
I was out looking how many people are
Freaking
around
out, yeah.
And if you want to avoid the queues, please get online, and here's how you buy some discount tickets. You'll actually save money, but the best thing is you'll save time in the queue.
I reckon that's
buy your ticket online. Why wouldn't you?
Look, that is the big value add there of buying online. I hate waiting in queues. Who doesn't? I mean, it's a $3 discount or a $4 discount, I think, per ticket.
Yep.
You use that special code
iFish,
and you don't have to wait in line.
That's the biggest advantage.
It's awesome.
You'd be mad not to get on 4x4show.com.au, and you're going to see this bloke at the show. You're going to see that bloke. You're going to see me. You're going to see Adam. You're going to see Trelly. It's going to be a great show. Be there this Friday. Up next, product of the week. See you soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing.
Now, for product of the week, we're going to have a look at a brand new clothing line that's just hit stores here in Victoria, and it's there's a bit of an interesting backstory to it. Basically, the guys from Globe International, who are Globe Australia, have now bought in a brand new line of clothing for us fishermen called Salty Crew. We decided to give it a go, and we were absolutely blown away by the uptake in which everyone's taken to it, because we were just trying to find something a little bit different. Clothing's never been something that we could really wrap our heads around, because we're silly fishermen. We got nothing to do with fashion or what's going on. So, but anyway,
But we like to look
we
good
got
when
it.
we
That's
go
right.
fishing.
I'll show you quickly to start with a few hats, because what's a clothing line without a few hats? Now, there's way too many to show you, so I've just bought a selection of maybe some of the newer ones.
They all snapbacks.
Does that
Is that
mean
what they call them?
does that mean they're a flat peak?
I think so.
These ones are.
You two boys would wear them. Add them to your other Adam.
Well, you need a hat when you go fishing. So
Yeah, exactly.
You wear a snapback.
Whatever I got close at the time.
They do everything, these guys, because we saw in the latest release some of those crazy old school, like they're real
Ben
I don't know.
Pete.
They almost look like golfers' caps. They're shocking, but apparently people wear them
Around my age group.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
But amazing quality, and you're going to see this throughout the entire range that I'll show you tonight. This is not just beat around, cheap clothing, which unfortunately we have seen quite a lot of through the years when it comes to clothing apparel.
This steps fishing clothing up a notch.
It does.
And just amazing that, the quality that you're going to see in fishing clothing in coming years, because I think people have, we've seen a few brands come and go.
Correct.
But it's about to start quality, up there with surf quality.
That's right.
And that's why Globe have brought this in.
Brought it in. So I'll start off with the long sleeve shirt, because I guess it's fairly relevant to what we're going through at the moment with the temperatures forecast for the weekend. This is one of the many designs, I should say, they do. I think what Salty Crew have been able to do is really hit the nail on the head when it comes to who they're actually targeting this clothing at. I mean, I could walk down the street in that and I'd actually look as though I know what I'm doing. Yet, Dave, someone of your great age could wear it too, and we wouldn't bat an eyelid. So, I think it's just
and their
it's
imagery.
stuff.
You saw that of the tuna.
Yeah,
their
tuna on the
imagery
back.
is second to none. It's
That's
fantastic.
right. Now we need to understand with this as well. It's all very saltwater orientated at the moment, and very blue water orientated. Bearing in mind it is an American brand, but it being such a new company, we haven't even seen majority of the styles that they're bringing out. And every quarter there's a new product line that gets released with new styles, new bits and pieces. It is going to be one of the fastest growing apparel brands in Australia, I'm sure of it, or in amongst our industry anyway. So that's the long sleeve tee. I said heaps of designs, and please pop in and have a look, because it is really, really good gear. Dave, these have been selling like absolute hotcakes. These are the old traditional hoodie. Heaps of styles. I thought this one was pretty cool, because the little catch line to that is chasing tail, which I'm sure, Ads, you know what I'm talking about, mate?
I'm sure it's a metaphor of some sorts. Yeah.
So that's the hoodie. Very thick, very comfortable. And it's a nice, big, bold print. You're going to stand out no matter where you go, that in the best possible way. So that's the hoodie. This one was quite exciting for this time of year too, which is the spray jacket. I think we're going to see, believe it or not, I think we're going to see sales of this continue right through the warmer months, because we do get those light showers or even that heavy storm rain, and it doesn't really get cold.
No, I think tonight it's going to be 20 mil, but anyway.
Yeah, so you might need more than a spray jacket, but that's the spray jacket. They do a black version of this as well, which is beautiful, but pop in and have a look at that.
And again, quality prints on a jacket like that.
That's right.
Is second to none.
And beautiful materials. They're going to last. This isn't. I said, this is not the cheap stuff. It's not the stuff that's going to shrink in the machine or you wear it twice and all the logos have peeled off.
No.
I apologise for racing through these, but it's pretty hard to show clothing on television without
modelling it.
Putting it on.
Could have got the rat to pop a pair of shorts on.
I was humming and hawing on whether to actually bring these. These are a board short, which look nice enough to actually wear out to the pub.
Ads, can I interrupt? I wouldn't say a board short. They are a specific fishing short.
Yeah, well, I'm about to show you why. This is really, really cool. On the side of the actual short, where I guess your cargo pocket would be, there is a heavily stitched, reinforced section where you can put a pair of pliers.
Yep.
You can pop a pair of scissors, and they're not going to actually cut through the material and ruin your shorts. So not only do they look awesome, and like I said, you can go for a fish and then wear them down to the pub for a couple of frothies afterwards. You can leave your pliers in there and your scissors, and they're not going to ruin your shorts. And it's just something very, 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 very practical. And again, they've just really nailed on who they're targeting this stuff at.
Yeah.
And
I also reckon that they are a quick dry material.
Definitely.
Because they're a really good material.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Light, perfect.
And they've got Velcro, so if you want to suck your gut in for a good photo, like when you're taking the photo, right, and you've got to suck your gut in, you just get the Velcro to help hold your gut in. So you boys, wait till you're about 10 years older and you'll be sucking your gut in for photos, I can tell you.
But that's Salty Crew. Please pop in and have a good look. As I said, it's really hard to show you on TV what it all looks like, and I probably should have organised myself earlier and got a model in. Actually, let's get Tackle Rat to pop a few on.
I reckon we should.
Yeah, he'll go all right. But Salty Crew, get in and have a look.
There's also flannelette shirts, The old
There's-
flannelette.
there
In
is.
fact, if you Google it, the clothing range.
There's,
because you'll
there's
see it
short
all in there.
sleeve tees. When we get
There's
around
a whole
to
lot of other stuff.
when we get around to summer and Charlie's in the mood, we'll kit him out in a bit of salty crew and we'll make sure he's wearing it because I'm sure he won't mind getting changed live on
Absolutely.
live TV. But we'll get him in some of the summer gear because they do singlets, they do the whole kit and caboodle.
That's awesome because Globe have always done a quality product. Now they've done something directed, for
That's
fishers.
right, for our demographic.
Yeah,
It's
that's
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah. Adam, we've got a little bit of time. I want to head down your neck of the woods while we've got you in the studio. Geelong, Corio Bay, you're less than 1 year away from all the netting being banned in Corio Bay. Has the fishery got better over the last couple of years?
Yeah. More whiting. We've seen that. Numbers and the size.
Are they getting right up into Corio Bay?
I've heard of King George as far in as the Geelong waterfront, which that's almost been unheard of. So, yeah that's been something that people have experienced this winter.
Yep.
Bigger squid. Yeah, just better fishing in general. Pinkies, everything. Yeah, it's awesome.
We're seeing some of these big squid now start to appear. Queenscliff, Blair Gowrie, Sereno Ports, all those sort of places, and in Western Port. But do you get some of those bigger squid that, and I mean, you can get them right along that western seaboard, St Leonard's and so forth.
Absolutely.
Do they come around the corner and into the bay at all? The big ones?
Yeah, well, they come in as probably as far in around the corner as Clifton Springs. You don't see them too much further into the inner harbour, I suppose, than that. But Clifton Springs is pretty far into the outer harbour, and that's got some really good squid fishing. And at the moment, we've people are bagging out, no dramas, and the size of the average squid's much bigger. We saw squid to 2.5, 3 kilos during the week this last week. So it's awesome.
The beauty is in Corio Bay, you can also hide from the northerly winds in parts, can't you?
Right,
So, which many parts of the bay can't. But anyway, we're going to talk plenty more about Corio Bay with Adam later on the show. Up next, Kramer's mailbag, plenty more on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Make mine a Mornington.
G'day, David Kramer here. I'm a massive fan of the Mazda BT50, having personally driven and owned one for more than 5 years now. And to tell you what, you can't beat it for an all-round great ute and a great tow vehicle. Get into Mornington Mazda before the end of the month and grab yourself a run-out bargain. I made mine a Mornington Mazda.
Make mine a Mornington Mazda.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
And boys, only a couple of mailbags this week. It's people are just
Bit slack.
Well, they're not going out fishing, are they? They don't want to talk about much. So anyway, let's get into it though. All genuine. The second one's a cracker. G'day, boys, writes Lindsay. He says, with Sunday's weather being less than desirable, we had to hold off putting the boat in until Sunday. So we headed out Saturday afternoon for some fresh bait collecting in the hope of chasing down the elusive winter whiting on Sunday in the boat. We fished Sorrento Pier late afternoon until dark, landing 9 good size squid between us with this absolute horse, and he's got a picture there, 48 centimetre hood length and 68 centimetre overall length. Luckily, we'd stopped in at Tacklewood Mornington on the way down and purchased a squid gaff after watching the Product of the Week segment on last week's show. Sunday, the whiting escaped our capture, but we ended up with a nice haul of squid for the weekend, totalling 24 in southern Port Phillip Bay.
Nice.
And that's the importance of it. We talked about the squid gaff last week and people laugh at it. Sometimes people go, that's ridiculous. Why would you need one of those? When you pull up a calamari with a 48 centimetre hood and 68 centimetres overall, probably weighs 2.5, 3
So
kilos.
you're not lifting it.
You're not lifting it with your 6 or 8 pound leader, are you? Or even your 20 pound leader, you're probably going to drop it. That squid gaff saved those guys, and they got a very, very nice feed of calamari from that squid gaff. So, I know people go over the top, but
It has a purpose.
I don't know how much they are.
50 odd bucks.
Yep. Save those boys, and they got more than $50 worth of calamari.
Right.
You got to think too. A lot of the time you catch squid, they could only have one pin in them.
Yeah, exactly right.
And even no matter how small it is, you can't deadlift
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Absolutely essential and land-based, isn't it? So, now, guys, look, this was sent in.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, no, it just got sent in, and I can only. It looked like a genuine email
And I don't
address.
know what this is, by the way. That's
No,
what I'm
well,
excited
it's
for.
letter from the Queen.
Oh,
From
stop
Her
it.
Majesty the Queen, Buckingham Palace, London, and it's got a postcode there, but it says, "Dear Talking Fishing, I fear this may be late." No, well, it's not late. It arrived, Liz, on time. I seem to have been so busy fishing at my private hideaway in Australia.
Well, there you go.
I'm so pleased to know that you're celebrating your 100th episode on Tuesday, the 15th of August. I send my congratulations and best wishes to you on such a special occasion. Now, this is genuine Buckingham Palace letterhead. It was sent to us.
Sounds legit to me.
I know how difficult TV programs can be nowadays, especially ones that are community-based. But Kramer, Ads and Trelly, and Adam sitting in for Trelly, you gentlemen, well, I don't know if,
Oh, yeah, she's
if
bugging
talking about me, have done it. You've created an amazing, extremely informational program for all types of fishers. I was so sorry to hear about the recent passing of Richie Minnow. She actually must watch this. He was a true legend of your show. Please pass on my deepest sympathy to Kylie.
Ooh.
So someone's
she's watching.
in Liz's office is actually, you know. I would now like to express my gratitude to Trelly. When you speak before thinking, it is amazing to watch how it just rolls off your tongue. It is truly wonderful. Oh, there's Liz there. She's out fishing. That was during the week up Queensland
getaway.
somewhere.
Yep.
It's truly wonderful to have someone who makes me laugh every Tuesday night, not like Philip. You go, Trelly. Maybe the next time I'm in the land of Down Under, you, Mr. Trelly, will do the honour of taking a lady, other than your beautiful wife, Mary, fishing for a cod in that mighty river of yours, the Murray. I can hear Philip coming down the hallway, so I must go now. He gets a little bit jealous when I'm sending emails to other men. Keep up your amazing work, gentlemen. Yours faithfully, Elizabeth Regina. That's genuine.
It's all pretty legit
That
to me.
is seriously. That's the one. 100 episodes, boys. Well done. And
There you go.
letter from the Queen. Don't get that very often. But anyway, that's it. If you'd like to write in, oh, I know it's pretty desperate this week. It's genuine. That came to us in mailbag. If you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Adam. I just want to see which
one?
one of you which one of you would look at me.
The camera panned to me, so.
I know. No, other Adam. So let's talk about in your backyard. I want to go out to the Western District lakes. Now we've seen some good photos. Last week we saw of Lake Bolac.
Yeah, Lake Bolac. That's
on fire again. So
on fire. Yep. Big rainbow trout.
And in our news before, another 8,000 rainbows went in as yearlings.
There you go. Yeah,
but there'd already be some. They're not. I wouldn't say they're quite that football size of
not quite
6 years ago.
That's
I think
right.
it was.
That
but they're getting there.
Yeah, that's right. That was really the prime, and I think that was because it was discovered a little bit later when the fish had a chance to get a little bit bigger. This time around, it's been discovered that the fish are on fire. But it's awesome because they're pushing 2 kilos and they're fat, they're healthy.
Yeah.
They look awesome. Apparently they taste awesome, which is good.
Yeah.
And they're biting like crazy, which it's awesome.
I want to go back onto those Chinook salmon. Now they're in Purrumbete and Bullamero.
Yep.
Of those two, which do you prefer?
Okay. Well, probably Bull and Mary is your best chance of catching one.
Yeah.
But Purrumbete's your best chance of catching a big one. I was there myself about 6 weeks ago, and I sort of missed the opportunity of catching that trophy Chinook. But
Why?
All right, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah,
I put out a really long cast. I had a fairly strong tailwind.
What? Land-based?
No, sorry, I was in a boat.
Yeah.
We had a good drift going along a weed bed, myself and Perry from the shop.
Yep.
And it was about 8 o'clock in the morning, so it wasn't ridiculously early.
Yeah.
Anyway, long cast with a really strong tailwind, and I reckon I probably cast about 50 or 60 metres. And my soft plastic, I was using a 3.5-inch grub at the time. We were just fishing for redfin. And then I saw this fish breach the surface, come right out of the water, and
it was a big Chinook.
Every piece of 15 pound,
wow,
easily. And I thought, well, what do I do here? So I burned my lure in as fast as I could to where I saw it jump. And I guess a grub style soft plastic's not your typical lure for a trophy Chinook salmon. So I just started slowly retrieving, and I could feel it nipping at the tail the whole way back to the boat. And we got a look at it, and it looked like a kingfish in the water. And
Yeah.
I've never seen I honestly have never seen a fish, apart from a carp, that big in fresh water.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And they look quite different.
Oh, they do, yeah. I've never seen anything like it. It's like this big purple submarine, and it's in a freshwater lake.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
It's like something you'd think you'd see offshore.
And they're just a little bit. I mean, I fished for them in Canada a few weeks ago, and they're a different look. Like their mouth, the shape of their nose is very, very different to a trout.
That's right, and it was the first time I'd seen something like that.
Yeah, and they've actually got at that size. They've got a decent set of chompers too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they'll rip your fingers apart if you grab them the wrong way. So
but I guess I was just unlucky at the day. It was just sort of nipping at the tail. But I mean, I'm stoked to have got a look at it.
Yeah,
but they are huge when you see them in the flesh.
A question for you: we somehow sell a lot of surf rods.
Yep.
But you don't hear a lot about surf fishing. Now, the Surf Coast is a classic for the salmon and so forth. And that, is it still big over that side of the town?
It's huge, especially over winter. You get big schools of Australian salmon that move right across the...
like Torquay down to Lorne and places
and
like
that's where you want to go at night. You know, it's this time of year, you're going to catch your gummies, mulloway, snapper to 5 kilos off the beach, salmon. You know, you can be there on a day with a school's moving through your bag out in an hour. Yeah. And they're all good fish, up to 3 kilos. So there's heaps happening down the coast at the moment for us. Yeah, it's awesome.
The Barwon Estuary.
Yep.
That's a pretty nice spot too. And
it's awesome.
Often surprising because you can get elephant fish in there at times.
Yeah.
But mulloway, bream, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, at the moment, I guess bream and trevally are probably the main target species in there. You also, every chance of a mulloway. Even as a bycatch. But if you do target them, you're probably going to have a better chance. High tide, give yourself a couple of hours either side of slack high tide. Fresh squid or a live mullet, that's going to be good. Even small salmon, you know, when they're just legal size, are really good bait. It's an awesome estuary.
There you go.
Snapper.
Trying to cover a bit of the West Coast while we've got Adam in the studio. Coming up next, this week's hot spots, or should I say cold spots with the weather forecast for this weekend. We'll be back shortly on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worslam's Tackle World Kramer. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
And I know we've got some pretty ordinary weekend weather coming up, but we just want to try and put you on a fish. If you can get out, please get out, because there's some cracker fish around in some of the places that we're about to tell you about. And number one is Frankston Pier. And I know the locals will hate that. They hate it when we talk about Frankston Pier. But there is some good garfish at the moment, and it seems that influx of garfish has hung around.
Yep.
It's in the bay, and the next one we're going to talk to you about, Adam, but they're certainly around Frankston Pier and Seaford Pier at the moment, but Frankston, I would say, is the number one spot. Silverfish,
silverfish
under a float.
And get a burley trail going. I think that's pretty important.
People, I think, forget that they can actually put a burley bucket on a rope off a pier.
Yeah, that's right.
Like everyone thinks they can do it on a boat, but why not do it off a pier? Get a trail going, because there's always a tide or a bit of wind or whatever that's actually going to create a trail that could go 20, 30, 40 metres, and you're going to end up with a trail with fish in it.
Yep. Worst case scenario, if the gars don't turn up, the big salmon will, so you're going to have a bit of fun anyway.
Exactly, yeah. Let's head over the western districts of Corio Bay, right up that top end, St Helens.
Yeah.
Now, you got big rock wall there and a pier?
Yeah,
so
right? It's a boat ramp. So St Helens is the boat ramp, and then you've got the rock wall that sort of extends out past where the boats launch, and it's probably the hot spot for winter snapper that we have in Geelong.
But there's reports of garfish off there as well.
Absolutely, yeah, garfish. And there's two hot spots in Geelong for garfish. St Helens is number one, and then you've got lime burners, and you can basically pick one depending on the wind. So whichever spot you're going to have a better tailwind, go there. But yeah, St Helens is an awesome spot for garfish.
Same method, I guess, as over.
Absolutely,
it's the same
burley
silverfish and
burley trail, quill float, and a bit of pippy or what are they?
The silverfish.
Silverfish, that's it.
Nuggets.
You boys enjoy a feed of garfish?
I reckon they're my favourite eating fish.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I don't reckon any of us do it often enough.
No,
Nah,
not
no
at all.
way.
You just don't eat
Yeah.
garfish
Yep.
often enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cracker. All right, let's head over to Western Port. And if you want to escape these northerly winds that are, I mean, it was as we were driving into the studio tonight, you know, we got out of the car, ads, and it was 19 degrees.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
It was
blowing a
warm.
northerly.
Yeah.
And I still had the heater on in the car because it felt cold outside. But if there's one place to escape the northerly in Western Port, it's the Warneet Channel. And there's reports of good King George whiting coming from the Warneet Channel at the moment. So best thing is get on the high tides. There's a bit of water in there.
Yep.
The fish have come into the system. They're feeding on the edge of the weeds. Get in amongst the channel, like right on the edge of that channel where it drops off to 3 or 4 metres. There's some lovely King George whiting in that channel.
How many people do you think that launch at Warneet drive over some of the best
Oh,
whiting in Western Port?
I know,
Heading out
to
into
get
the
out
port
into the
itself.
choppy conditions, and it's terrible.
Yep.
But when you got that northerly, you can sit there in the river or in the, you know, in
That's
that,
it, protected,
yeah,
and catch
in the
as many as you
channel.
want.
It's fantastic, yeah. I know a place that cops it on a northerly, which is the Cows Pier over on Phillip Island. But when it's blowing and you're up on that pier, if you can handle the wind, then you're going to catch a good fish, aren't you?
That's right, and it's one of the more renowned early season snapper marks in Western Port, and I know of a few people giving it a crack, and we haven't seen many snapper yet, but it's coming. But we've seen some big flatties.
I saw a report of tiger flathead.
Yeah,
which are
that's
normally
interesting.
caught
Offshore.
offshore.
Yep.
But tiger flathead caught during the week
And
off
they're not
Cows
small.
Pier. No.
That's right,
And they're
never small.
tasty.
So I think we're going to see Cows Pier feature in Catch of the Week in the next few weeks. If depending on what this wind does, if it stays with the northerly, it might be a bit hard. But of a night time, get off the edge of the pier there. You basically can cast into the channel, and that's where you're going to get your snapper.
There was a fair bit on social media during the week about Cows Pier when that photo of a flathead was up there, and a lot of people are going, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the wind.
Yeah, just
let's
go.
just do it, because that's what you got to do. If
Yep.
you want to punch through that weather, you're going to catch good fish.
That's
so
exactly.
anyway, let's head out to the west again and Wordy Bullock Reservoir, Adam.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some cracker redfin coming from there.
It is, it's awesome. It's a favourite of mine. I guess it's the home of big redfin in Victoria, I guess you'd call it. And this week we've seen fish to 50 centimetres. So for redfin, that's awesome.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big fillets.
Plastic's the best way? Or
Yeah, 100%. And the trick there is because you can't launch a boat, you need to use heavy jig heads. So 1/4 ounce, 3/8 on like a 2 or a 3/0 hook.
Yep.
And a 3 or 4 inch paddle tail soft plastic. I prefer to go a bit bigger. That just sort of reduces your chances of catching those smaller fish.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the way to go.
Let it go all the way to the bottom, these fish on the bottom?
Yep. Or if you there's parts that you want to fish that are only 2 metres deep, and that'll be like along the edge of weed.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to punch out a long cast and start winding straight away. Otherwise, you will pick up the bottom.
Yeah.
But you can have days out there. The fish will actually grab it as it sinks. You don't even need to start retrieving.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And is Wordy Bullock a big lake? I've
is.
never been there.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the size off the top of my head.
But it's decent. Like
it's
you can-
big. It's
yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to walk around it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The other one is Nagambie, the township of Nagambie. The Goulburn River runs through there. And did you know it's Murray Cray season?
There you go.
Trelly would know.
Yeah.
But
no one knows where he is.
No,
Or do we now?
No, we don't.
Or do we now?
Well, he could be at Nagambie, but you know what? Cray season only runs for a few months. So it closes on the 1st of September.
What's the best way to get him? Do you just drop
Well,
pods? Or?
nets, yeah. Like you got to have the proper hoop nets or whatever
Yeah.
they call them, and look up the fisheries guide because there is quite strict rules.
Yeah, I was
You've
gonna
got to
say, it
have
is
your
pretty
name,
full
your
on.
address, your
Yeah.
phone number, everything on a tag. You're only allowed so many
Facebook
nets, all
page.
that sort of
Size limit
stuff.
as well.
Yeah.
But I don't look. I mean, amongst my group of friends, I don't know. Travis Dowling, he'd be the only one that does it. Do you know anyone that does it?
Nah, not at all.
No. And yet it is Murray Cray season.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's only open for 3 months of the year. And it's only
weird.
open for the next,
It's weird. No one
whatever it
talks
is,
about it.
16.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's only open for the next 16 days. And Nagambie is an absolute hotspot for them. So if you're going to do it, go and do it in the next couple of weeks because they're
The
beautiful
wind wouldn't
eating.
matter.
They
And the
are,
wind
yeah.
wouldn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
don't
that's
worry
right,
about
yeah.
the wind.
Yeah, so just we're all sitting here
is
complaining about the
Murray
wind. We
Cray
should be up there.
Yeah.
Put your traps in and go sit in the car.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, do it because it is the end of the season on 1st of September. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
like it.
So, a lot of people have been asking us about an update on Hazelwood Pondage.
Yep.
We might do that next week,
Yes.
if we can. So, very, very, very quickly, there has been some fish deaths there. Not many, but fisheries have also thinned it out. So they've done a controlled thin out of the fish because they are all hanging around the hot water pipe.
Yep.
And apart from that, I'm not going to give any more information because I think we might try and get Travis or one of the boys, Anthony Forster or something like that, in the studio next week. We might try and do that and get them to give us a proper update on Hazelwood Pondage. But the barra is still there. As far as I'm concerned, they're in the bank because there's a lot of them that are around 80 centimetres. Yeah. And just what happens with that fishery, well, there's some plans going forward. So, But we will have an update. I know a lot of people are asking us about what's happening at Hazelwood. We'll do that next week. So, barrel tuna, boys. If you're heading out, as soon as we get some good weather, where would you go? Adam?
Me, I'd go to Polar Bay.
Yep. Adam?
Bowen Heads.
No, would you? Well, and Paul Worsing was only saying to me today that it's only 2 weeks away that they started to show up off Port Phillip Heads and in Western Port, like on that entrance. So anything could happen in the next few weeks with a bit of good weather.
That's right. It's just been a matter of trying. So.
And it is the weather too. You need a good day, and I think that's why we haven't heard of too many people going out at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got to have some good weather very, very shortly. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you are visiting the Melbourne 4x4 Outdoor Show Fishing and Boating Expo, I got that right, which starts this Friday and runs all weekend, make sure you drop in and say g'day, Trelly. Adam and I will be there. Otherwise, until we see you next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.